when it comes to nihilistic characters or nihilistic storylines, there's always an underlining theme of hopelessness, an underlying theme of absolute self, not deprecation, but just dread. The idea that no matter what we do, no matter how hard we try, we fail in the end. And I don't want to say Bojack Horseman presents this perfectly, but it does a pretty damn good job of it. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking Bojack Horseman and Harry Potter. Those two shouldn't mix at all. But in reality, they kind of do. I mean, really think about this. The boy who lives, Harry, is by design a nihilistic-ish setup. A boy who is literally dropped off with his abusive relatives, who has no hope of ever seeing the light of day, who has no hope, not a shred of things of it, and is given hope to be able to go to a boarding school, but every summer has to go back to his abusive relatives. Now, for me, I see this as pure, unadulterated manipulation. Something that is for a video for another damn day of, well, I don't get the good goddamn if Dumbledore was doing it for the greater good. He was a bigger fucking villain than fucking Voldemort, in my opinion. But in terms of this fanfiction, the author, which is random name 41, actually does another The Boy Who Lives, of course, which is his take on Blitzo and Stolas being two daddies with a daughter and a son. And we will check out the chapters of those, I promise, but right now, I want to talk about this story because it does capture that nihilistic viewpoint, but at the same time has an underlying theme of no matter how bad life throws at you, there's still hope of a better day. And the author of this has captured that perfectly. Because not only do we go through the motions of just being broken down, beaten, and just hopelessly just curb stomped and stepped on and just absolutely treated like absolute shit. But there's always that one ray of hope that shines down on us and gives us that one chance to try and be happy. And this story encapsulates that ideology. I don't know if that was the author's intention, but that actually does encapsulate it. And even helps transform Bojack in a way. Yes, Bojack is still dealing with stuff, and him being a father, and yes, he is the biological father, mind you, because fucking Harry's mother, she basically banged him back in the day when he was in England, and Harry, somehow, through magic or otherwise, pops up on his Hollywood Hills, house, essentially, and the way he knows he's his kid, the diamond on his forehead. And there is a lot of cool stuff with this. And even Harry gets a cool mom, who is the owl, of course, Wanda. And she very much so is protective of her son. And Harry, instead of being the timid little British boy we know and absolutely want to just hug and take him away to our home countries and make sure that he never steps foot in England ever again. Granted, that might be me because what the fuck has England ever done for him? USA is gonna make that boy good and strong. We will cover United States Harry Potters, I can assure you, but this story, however, transforms Harry from the weak, timid boy who we know into Harry Potter, who is Hadrian Horseman, who is a cynical, sassy, and all-around semi-nihilistic son of Bojack Horseman and son of Wanda, who is the head of NBC Universal. And like I said, it's really good because, and I'm going to spoil a lot for this because I cannot talk about its nihilistic viewpoint without at least talking about the spoilers of this story, and you should go read this. The chapters are relatively short, but they are good. This story does follow Bojack Horseman, of course, being a father. At first being a single father until Wanda comes into his life, and then they get together. His parents, of course, they come to find out about Harry, and Bojack, actually coming out of his shell, literally fucking tells them off, tells them that this is my son and I want what's good for him. That, right there, should tell you everything about what Bojack is willing to do to be there for his biological son. And not only that, but the grandparents even, the mother and father of Bojack Horseman, they themselves go through a transformation until a car accident happens. And Harry is paralyzed from the waist down.
I don't like where this is going.
And the story takes such a nihilistic point of view, like a nihilistic turn, that it is absolutely heartbreaking because I know people who are paraplegics. I know people who have been in accidents and have had that point in their life where they were just at their lowest. Even in college, I knew a guy who was in a car accident with a truck, and he was in a wheelchair for at least a year before he could walk again. That feeling that is identified in the story from Hadrian's point of view, and even the parents' point of view, from Bojack and Wanda, fully is accurate to what people go through. I myself went through. My friends went through. That whole fear of never being able to walk again, never being able to have a normal life again, is a legitimate fear for anyone who has been in an accident and they've had to be bedridden or they've had to be confined to a wheelchair. And the depression described in the story is legitimate. But you heard what I said about that little ray of hope. That little ray of hope is Hadrian's friends, is Princess Caroline, who is Harry's aunt, and she loves the kid, and she herself now has a daughter as well, who also is friends with Hadrian. Jonah is even seen as Hadrian's best friend, and even a family member, essentially. And the story does get better, because there is the accidental magic, yes, because before Harry's accident, he does use accidental magic to go back in time to the 1960s, where he meets Bojack's uncle, who was drafted to go to Vietnam, who died in Vietnam. He meets his other family, of course, who was there, and he got to know his grandmother. Again, just there's a lot in there that I actually do love. But, like I said, the story itself does get better because that little light, even though Hadrian is confined to a wheelchair, he is a sassy boy. And he just lays on the sass. And I love it because, dear God, the first sass he does is against a boy who may be attracted to him. We don't know. But the second sass is with a Navy SEAL. Not a Special Forces, no, I mean a SEAL who happens to be in the Navy, who tried pulling the whole Karen thing of saying, oh, a celebrity insulted me, even though I did so many months in Afghanistan. It's like, you know the ones, those guys. And Hadrian lays it on him, calls him out on live television, and his mother, of course, hears this and is pissed. And somehow the seal gets turned pink, and magical U.S. government finds out about it and realizes it's just a kid. You know, this does happen. And hearing, you know, because I don't think they're going to go after a paraplegic kid who just recently got injured and is, you know, still recovering. They're not going to go after him just because, you know, accidental magic. I mean, hell, I'll be honest, I think a few of those senators may have agreed with the kid because it's like, this is a member of our armed forces acting like an ass on national TV and being told off by a kid who whose mother runs the studio, runs the thing that runs the station, that runs the news channel. Yeah, no, we're going to take care of this situation. And, of course, the seal is honorably discharged because, yeah, the military does not need a fucking embarrassment. We've already got enough of those. But the story does end off on a very much so, not completely nihilistic note, but hopeful note, where it is revealed that Harry might never walk again. His spine is damaged. The poor boy is going to be stuck to a wheelchair, but his parents assure him that when he is their age, technology may have advanced enough to where, he may be able to walk again. And it is very heartbreaking, especially, because it's a kid. And I've seen this happen myself in real life. This happened to a friend of mine who, sadly, I lost contact with and just dropped off the face of the earth a long time ago, but I remember when I was in first grade, a best friend of mine got into an accident at home. They were being stupid, playing on the roof like any normal kid in the South would in the late 90s, early 2000s, and they fell off that roof. Now understand, this was a pretty high up roof, like 25 feet, give or take, and they landed on a rock perfectly enough to where it hit their spine, like right there at the waistline, hit their spine. And this wasn't a small rock, no, this was a pretty good sized rock. They hit it and damaged their spinal cord. When I was able to talk to them at school, they were in a wheelchair, and we were basically told that my friend could never walk again, but assured us, the teacher who was telling us about what happened and stressed to be safe and not play on roofs, told us that medical technology is always evolving, and when the time comes that when we're old as her, or at least as old as her, we may have advanced enough medical technology that my friend who was in a wheelchair may be able to walk again through the miracle of medical technology. And while yes, technically speaking, we are pretty damn close to that with what's going on in Japan with the exo legs, the ones I'm talking about, the exo legs, as well as other medical technology. That still didn't help the way I felt. That didn't help the way my friend felt, because I just felt sad. I just felt depressed because my friend couldn't walk in. My friend was completely depressed. I mean, it was... For anyone else who's ever been in that situation, or known a friend in that situation, sound off in the comments section. You know exactly that feeling. And for me, that just was in the pit of my stomach, and it just felt horrible. But that is the way the story is, though. But like I said, while yes, this is somewhat of a nihilistic point of view, and while yes, the story does have a nihilistic twist to it, there is that ray of hope. And Harry is given that hope. While, yes, he may never walk again at the current stage of the story, that doesn't mean he's not surrounded by people that love him. He has his friends. He has his aunt. He has his mom, his dad, Jonah, who loves him like a son. He's going to have a new caretaker who's the bear, who always speaks in that weird tongue of theirs and can't speak like English, but is well renowned and is very good at what they do. My personal opinion, the bear is probably from a Slavic country, so super Slavic bear, always squatting, and it's great, have sandwich, some nice compote, you never know, maybe a butterbrot. What I'm saying is that what I'm trying to say is that the story itself, while yes, will make you remember things, from that nihilistic point of view, make you remember the more depressing aspects of life, it also reminds us that there is hope. Not everything is doom and gloom. There is always that ray of hope. And no matter how hard we try to tell ourselves that, no, there isn't, there's always that little nagging feeling in the back of your mind that tells you there is. And in my opinion, this story is that, in a nutshell. It is the combination of nihilism and optimism. And I'll be honest, the way I can see this going forward is magic being involved, because again, we've had 2 instances of accidental magic, or maybe more. I can't remember exactly, because I know Harry in this story does have a cotton candy addiction. It's definitely how it is. But like I said, it's just the way this could go forward, and the way that ray of hope could come in, is if the magical United States government actually does get involved, actually does, find Hadrian, come in, try to tell him, accidental magic does happen. And basically is like, and we can help you with that. And is like, and can tell him, hey, Harry, we can help you walk again. Through magic, we can help you walk. And that's how the story could go up, essentially, because while, yes, there are always that story beats of, oh, Harry's United States, raised in the U.S., but he's got to come to Britain. No, he doesn't fucking have to.
No shit.
Why does Harry always have to go to Britain? Why? Oh, to move the plot along. The plot can go fuck itself.
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
We've never seen the United States. We've never seen the state of U.S. magic. And here's the thing. The story made it pretty clear, or at least this fanfiction has made it clear, that Harry is by birth a U.S. citizen, because his biological father is a U.S. citizen, and any child whose parents, be it born outside the U.S. or not, if one of the parents is from another nationality, they have dual citizenship. However, if they want to, they can actually revoke one citizenship and stay with that one. So, if Harry wants to, he can fully say, I am a U.S. citizen, and I have never been a British citizen at all. So, that's one legal avenue that the author could explore, and basically tell the British government to fuck off.
Fuckface. First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face!
Because Harry's a U.S. citizen, and he ain't never gonna leave the U.S. because, again, that whole nihilistic point of view, like I said, Harry being sassy, because this Harry, I love the sass. I really do. So, when told that his donors were the reason for a terrorist to be taken down, he can be like, that's great. Thanks for bringing it up, asshole.
What the fuck?
You want to bring up the fact that I was paralyzed for most of my life too? Or another one, of course, is when Harry get their death being used as a holiday. Harry could just sass right back and be like, oh, that's great. A holiday where I'm reminded of my parents' death every single time Halloween comes around. A time where I'm supposed to be happy-go-lucky and going to get candy. I'm reminded of my parents' death.
What the hell?
Thanks a lot, you assholes.
Oh, now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. You have fucked up now.
Again, that cynicalistic sass will play perfectly for Harry. Not only that, but the magical U.S. Here's the thing. The time setting this is set in is modern times. The mid to late teens, 20 teens. Or at least the early 20 teens, essentially. Like 08, 09. So, that or it's a little bit more. Because, again, there is that technological element. And the magical U.S. being the way it is, we can see that the United States is more more advanced, and basically with the times. So if Magical Britain threatens them, it's like, you can't go to, what about all the U.S. magic? And it's like, okay, My dad's a fucking star. My mom's the head of a TV studio. We can just announce magic out the wazoo. We can just announce that magic is real. It's like, you can't do that. State of secrecy. It's like, Magical US comes in and go like, actually, we've been planning to do this for a while now. So, what we do within our borders is US's agenda. So, how about you kindly fuck off back across the pond before we kick your ass?
You're gonna have to call the fucking United Nations and get a fucking binding resolution to keep me from fucking destroying you. I am talking scorched earth, motherfucker! I will massacre you!
Again.
I will fuck you up!
Because again, fucking 1776.
I'm here to tell you, 1776 will commence again!
Just saying.
You damn straight!
But either way though, what I think about the story is that it's legitimately really good, and I love the take on Harry, being not only, of course, a semi-nihilistic person, but more of a cynical person, more of a sassy person, a more upbeat, more American than anything else. I love the portrayal of him. I love that Bojack Horseman in the story has evolved into a actual caring, very much so doting father, as well as a worrying father. Wanda, the owl, is a perfect contrast to Bojack, being that solid anchor for not only him but also Harry, and being the perfect mother for Harry, as well as a good wife for Bojack. Princess Caroline is the perfect aunt. Her daughter is a great cousin for Harry, or at least a good friend. And then, of course, there's Jonah, who is a good uncle type. And, again, because this is set in the Bojack Horseman universe, there are a lot of ways this can go. There are a lot of ways this can be explored, especially with Bojack Horseman's whole nihilistic take on society, its whole cynical take on society, and how everything is so attention-hungry and attention-seeking in California, especially Hollywood. So, in a sense, I love this story. I love this fanfiction. And once again, fucking good on you, man. You did a good job, and even brought some memories that I had sealed away for a long time, and I had to confront them myself, and am very much so happy I've done, because I feel a lot better as a person for doing so. I know that may seem like, oh, but again, I have a lot of repressed memories growing up, so there's a lot of stuff in my closet that needs to be addressed sooner or later in therapy, so though. Thank you all for watching. As always, I've been Airsoft Hal, and next time, PayPal sponsor review time, ladies and gentlemen, where we take a look at what happens when a Marine officer is transported to the Revolutionary War, or at least isekai to the Revolutionary War. Oh boy. The thing's 200 chapters, so I'm just going to see if I can't cover the first arc, and if not, I'm just going to cover the 10 pages. So, till next time, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to help out in the future, please do consider donating to the PayPal down below. And for those of you who are asking what happens to the comments, why they're being deleted, YouTube is removing comments to fanfiction.net, as well as any other fanfiction website that they deem problematic. So if you're going to link me fanfictions, there is a link to a Discord down below. That Discord is where I and many other authors are in, so if you have a fanfiction that you want me to check out, either leave the name of it and the author in the comments down below, or actually link it to me in the Discord. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I have been Airsoft Al, and I will see all you lovely people in the next video. Till next time, and like I said, this story is legitimately good, so go check it out. Pin comment down below. And as always, I will see all you guys in the next video. Till next time. Later.